everybody, Dave back with you today with a fresh smartwatch review. Today we have the ET492. Now, if you've never seen my reviews, you don't know that I'm going to open up the box right now and show you what comes out of the box. Then I'm going to charge it, and then I'm going to go away and do a full, fair, honest review after a number of days or maybe even a couple weeks. I don't know. We'll see. And then come back with my full and fair and honest thoughts and opinions. I am a third-party independent reviewer of smartwatches. I am not associated with any of these companies. I generally buy these with my own money. And by my own money, I mean your money, the money I generate through my YouTube channel, through ad revenue. So, you know, you liking this video or leaving a comment or spreading the word helps me keep this all going. And that supports my primary hobby of kayaking over at davethekayaker.com. But I'm into all things health and fitness. So, yeah, that's, if you're new, that's the setup. That's why I do this. I just love technology that will help you gauge your health and fitness. That's it. I think kayaking is a healthy lifestyle, and any tech gizmo that will help you keep track of it or do better, I think is a good thing. So this is a screen protector. There's your smart guide, or I'm sorry, your smartwatch user guide. It's got a couple of wipes here, presumably to wipe down the watch face to then put on the screen protector. And then a little supplemental informational thing here to tell you how to do ECG measurements, or EKG, for most people in the world. And let's start here. It's got the very familiar magnetic charging cable with the 2 pins that will snap onto the back here. There's a protective film here over the sensors. Always make sure you peel that off so those sensors come right in contact with your skin. You know, sometimes people forget that and they say it's not terribly accurate and they forgot to peel that off. There's another one on the watch face. Peel that one off. This has a silicone wrist strap, and it comes with an extra spare band. And this one is kind of like a faux leather looking band. And on the inside, it's silicone, and it's kind of rubberized, and it's got grooves cut into it. And I tend to like these watch bands because when they're on your wrist, these kind of act as grippers, and it tends to prevent the watch from spinning around and whatnot. So, yeah, I kind of like this one. I just got to say this. Doesn't this look like the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra? Yeah, I think it does. So let's just call it what it is. This is a Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra knockoff at a budget price. And that's why I bought it, because I think a lot of people look at a $400 or $500 price tag on one of the name brand watches and they go looking for something similar. And they don't expect that, you know, all the features of the name brand product, but they kind of want it to look like it and kind of fake their way through having people think they're wearing the high-end watch. I get it. I absolutely get it. But yeah, so, you know, I'm not going to get into the review here, but obviously it's got a button here that if you press your finger on it, it will do an EKG, ECG. I'm just going to go charge this, wear it for several days, and come back with my full, fair, and honest thoughts. And, you know, the video before this one is going to be another Samsung watch knockoff review. I've been wearing this one for a couple weeks already, and it is a pretty good copy looks-wise of that other Samsung watch. So yeah, I'm on a little theme here for the next couple reviews, but through the magic of editing, you'll see my full, fair, and honest thoughts in just a few seconds. All right, I'm back, and I'm going to leave this on my wrist for the moment, but here you see it has an always-on display. I have it set for sort of the analog hands. It's a little bit faint on camera, but trust me, you can see it well enough. I'm going to press this top right button. The display comes to life. I have the display set right now for brightness all the way up. And screen on time, I set down to 3 seconds. All right, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. We're going to go down to always on display. Okay, and you will see I have it turned on, and now we're going to go to the analog 2 type display, and you'll see what happens here after 3 seconds. It will go from my main power on screen to the second display here. And again, it's a little hard to see with the studio lights, but it's bright enough to read for an always on display, and it's good that it's not bright because that would kill your battery life faster. So let's just go through those motions again. All right, we're going to go back to the always on display. We're going to go to digital 1 here. We're going to wait those 3 seconds and see what this always on display looks like. Boom. All right, so there you have the digital output, and then let's go look at the last setting here. Screen display, always on. Let's look at digital 2. Again, we'll wait those 3 seconds to see what that looks like. So you get the drift here, folks. It has an always on display. So let me come back into settings again here now. And for screen on time, let me pump that all the way up so this is not constantly turning off over the course of this review. Maximum there is 1 minute. And then always on display, I'm going to turn off. And I got a little smudge on here, so I'm going to wipe this off here. All right, so I just wiped it off. I'm going to leave this on my wrist as I talk you through these features. My goodness, there is so much to talk about here on this particular watch face. I've got my battery life. Let me grab my little high-tech pointer over here. We have our battery life here. We have an estimate of miles walked, estimate of kilocalories burned, and our heart rate. Here you have our step count, and this is the heart rate over here. So, and it gives us the day and date, right? It's Monday the 27th of January 2025 right now at 10:05 p.m. So I like this display. Let's swipe from right to left. This is kind of incredible. It will give you multiple health parameters at a glance by pressing this one button. Now, I'm going to take these few seconds to give you the standard disclaimer. This is not a medical device. Do not trust any health decisions to this device, all right? This is for reference only, and if you want to think of reference only as entertainment, then go ahead and think that, because that's how I think of it. Not a medical device. But I find it intriguing that these watches are trying to make these types of measurements. But, you know, for 30 bucks or less, you know that's not a real medical device, and it can't possibly be accurate. So, you know, let's just do this again. Don't suspend your disbelief and want to trust these numbers, because I think that's kind of a slippery slope, dangerous territory to be in when you start thinking, well, maybe this is true, maybe this is accurate. Yeah, don't do it. It's just go see a real doctor if you want to have any of these health parameters tested in yourself. That is the only and the safest way to know what's going on inside your body. So this returns, and it gives me my heart rate, and it will look over all of these measurements for any abnormalities. There's my heart rate in beats per minute, my blood pressure, my blood oxygen saturation. It will give me a measurement of my stress, like physical and mental stress, my body temperature, and I think that's all really cool stuff to get at a press of a button. All right, so let's keep swiping. We get to our phone. This has a built-in speaker and microphone. So when you're tethered to your phone via Bluetooth Low Energy, you can make and take calls right from the watch, assuming you're within about that 10-meter range to your smartphone when you're paired with it, okay? So this works. You have a little keypad. You can take it and make calls. Works like a charm, so you can make calls from your watch without using your phone. Here's an activity summary, again, of your kilocalorie burn, heart rate, and steps walked for the day. Here is your sleep from the night before, and it'll tell you your little goal that you set yourself here on the bottom. Here is your heart rate and beats per minute. This is just a neat little screen, and you can see it taking the measurement here. If I go back to my high techie pointer right here, you can see this little heart kind of spinning. There's a light spinning around it to let me know it's taking that measurement. It's giving me my blood oxygen saturation here. It's giving my sleep from the night before. It's giving me my body temp there. And I'm just going to swipe past this screen because that gets us to ECG or EKG. Now this is amazing that this watch purports to do this, to make these measurements. There's an electrode on the lower right here. You press your finger on it. You go into this EKG mode and you're supposed to remain very still and very silent. So this one's probably going to be pretty wonky. But this is actually a real EKG chart. This is not simulated. It's not a fake thing just repeating itself looking perfect every time. It's trying to do a real EKG measurement here. So I'm just going to let this go in real time so you can see how long it takes. Again, not a real medical device, but I think it's pretty cool. And it will it will analyze this EKG for you. And I'll show you that in the app. But there's my heart rate again, myocarditis risk, no risk, cardiac arrhythmia risk, no, low risk, coronary artery disease, low, no risk, arteriosclerosis risk, low, mental stress, low, fatigue, low. So like kind of amazing stuff, right? Yeah, I think it is. So let's go on to the next one. Here is our blood pressure. And you can press here and it'll do it in real time. I'll save you that time here in this review. Blood oxygen saturation, when it does this, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, if I contort just so, it is using a red diode. So this has both the green and red and ultraviolet diodes in here. So there's my blood oxygen saturation. This is in line with every other measurement I've ever made. This is kind of freaky and amazing that it tries to do this. It will do body comp measurement, and again you put your other finger on that electrode and it's going to go ahead and scan various things about your body and come back with some numbers estimating some values of what's happening in your body, and you'll see exactly what that is right here. Your body mass index, your body fat. Now I know that is way high for me. I'm somewhere in the mid 13% right now, so that's crazy high from this watch. Muscle mass, subcutaneous fat, body water, skeletal muscle, bone mass, protein percentage, basal metabolic rate. That's basically the number of calories you need to take in per day just to stay alive and for basic functioning without being active. And, you can review all this in the app. So, like, freaky amazing insights into your body, if you believe it. It's just cool that these watches are trying to make these measurements. Body temp, I'll let this go in real time. And just to go back to that previous screen, I've got a smart scale that I use that uses bioimpedance. That I trust that a lot more than the smartwatch. And the numbers are pretty far off from each other, so yeah, take those with a grain of salt. This will measure your skin temperature and then calculate a body temperature. It will pull in the weather from your smartphone when you're tethered, and it will give you your highs, your lows, and it will talk about the next 2 days really, today, tomorrow, and the day after, your highs, your lows, whether it's going to be sunny or not. So that's all really cool. Pulling that in from your phone when tethered via Bluetooth. And I think that gets us back to the beginning here, right? Yeah, so, yeah, back to the beginning. So I'm going to now pop this off my wrist and show you some more. Okay, so I had it on my wrist during that first segment so I could take those measurements in real time. Now I'm going to show you some of the features of the watch. Again, we have 3 buttons here, actually 2. One on the upper right, one in the middle, and then here is the electrode to put your finger on for EKG and sort of body comp measurements. If we press that upper right button a second time, we get into workout mode, and there are plenty of workout modes in here. All right, here's your heart rate, there's your blood oxygen saturation, your EKG, blood components. We didn't even talk about this. You can put that bad boy right back on your wrist, and it is going to claim to do basically a lipid panel. Again, don't trust this, folks. But just the fact that these watches are working on this technology and are going in that direction, I find fascinating. And I think hopefully one day we will get there. And you'll see it has come back now with my uric acid and micromoles per liter, my total cholesterol, my triglycerides, my high-density lipoproteins, my low-density lipoproteins. Most people know them as HDL and LDL. So, wow, blood components, all right? There's that body composition measurement that I showed you, your activity summary, your sleep tracking, your stress level, your blood pressure, body temp, blood glucose. Hello, wow, really? It's doing all of this in one smartwatch? I'm gonna put that right back on my wrist here and let this measurement go in real time. Is it going? Let me go back here, and I think maybe I didn't get it on my wrist in time. Let's watch this go. And again, it's going to give me my blood glucose or blood sugar level. This unit here now is in millimoles per liter. And it gives me my high and my low, and it gives me a trace over the course of the day. There you go, 5.1 millimoles per liter right now. And I have this set up in the app to take these automatically over the course of the day, and we'll take a look at that in a few minutes. MET, HRV, heart rate variability. There's that health glance that we did at the onset. Your emotion, I don't really know what that is. Fatigue level, some breath training. There's where you get to your phone. Notifications. You can pull in SMS messages from your smartphone, and really basically any other notifications from your phone that you enable the watch to talk with. Music, it's a remote music controller for the music on your smartphone. 28-day cycle tracking, a remote camera trigger, so you could shake your wrist and then take a picture on your phone. There's your weather, it's got a stopwatch, timer, you can set alarms, torch. That basically will turn on all the pixels, so you could use this as a little flashlight in the dark in a pinch. Find your phone, voice assistant, Alipay, calculator, some games in here, and then you get back to settings. The app here is the old familiar H-band app, all right? I've reviewed this many times with many different smartwatches. It's kind of an old friend of mine since it's been the app used for a lot of different smartwatches that I've tested and used. You swipe down, it will pull in the data from your smartwatch, and here is where you see there's the watch ET492, your steps for the day, and you can get an analysis here, your distance walked at the times of the day, your kilocalorie burn. You can go in the calendar and look at previous days and weeks and months and whatnot. Okay, let's cancel there. Let's go back. If we keep going down, here's your sleep tracking from the night before. And again, you can scroll back during the days, through the days there. You get your total sleep duration, an awake amount of time awake in minutes, how long it basically takes you to prepare or wind down for sleep, REM sleep, light sleep, deep sleep. All pretty good stuff. It gives you some sleep efficiency parameters. There's that heart rate trace. Here is that EKG measurement, and here's a couple that I've done. And you actually get the real EKG chart that happened when you recorded it from the watch. It records it in the app, so you can go take a look at it. You can look at your QT interval here. Let me go back. Your QT interval, 429 milliseconds, and it gives you an explanation of what that means and whether you're in the good range or not. HRV, or heart rate variability, same thing here. It tells you the reasonable range. Really cool stuff. Kind of amazing, actually. We keep scrolling down. There are my blood oxygen saturation measurements. Here is my HRV trace. I have this set to do automatically. It gives you an indication of your heart health, and this tells me I'm well up into the normal range, right? Lorentz scatter diagram. It tells you what these patterns mean, and it will explain that. Here is your HRV data, and again, it tells you whether you're in a normal range or kind of mild cautious range, or abnormal, meaning, you know, go the heck see a doctor. And the HRV value is really a kind of a heart health parameter. So when you're not excited and in a relaxed state, your heart beats should become more irregular, and meaning when you're stressed, they're forced into a very tight, regimented, repeatable pattern. And the more relaxed you are, the more variability there is in there. So the higher the heart rate variability, the more relaxed you are. Got it? Here are your blood pressure measurements. And again, I've got it set up to do automatically every 10 minutes. I could probably cut that down and save some battery life. Body temperature, blood glucose trace. Now, I don't believe any smartwatch can measure this in a non-invasive fashion, so I don't believe these. And my daily charts, if I scroll back through the days, pretty much every graph shows the same spikes, highs and lows. And it doesn't matter when I wake up, when I eat, if I skip meals, that trace always looks pretty much the same. So I don't really trust this, but it does give you a maximum value, a minimum value, and an average value. And here's where you turn it on and off to do those measurements automatically if you so desire. Here are your blood components. Again, uric acid, maximum, minimum, average. And here's where you would toggle on and off those measurements to do automatically. And then your lipid panel here. All right, so total cholesterol, triglycerides, high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, gives you your range, or the range, and your average value. But there's no way this is actually doing a blood lipid panel in a non-invasive fashion from a smartwatch. So, you know, I don't trust it. You shouldn't either. And there are those body comp measurements, significantly different than my smart scale that is well tested and trusted. So yeah, it's kind of cool that it tries to take these measurements. Again, like things like skin hydration and whatnot all can affect these measurements, so take them all with a grain of salt. But that's kind of the app. You can get into your workouts. You can see the workouts I've done. Here is what is this? This was a weightlifting session in the gym. Estimated kilocalorie burn, heart rate zones, amount of exercise. This was, what was that? Some other workout I did. Here's a hike I did. And you know, you get the idea. It gives you those traces. And then you have some settings here. Here you have the ET492 message notifications. Here's where you choose what notifications to send over to the watch from your phone. Here are your text messages: WeChat, QQ, Facebook, Twitter X, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Line, Instagram, Snapchat, Skype, Gmail, TikTok, Telegram, connected to Keiko, Talk, Messenger, and other apps. So you can enable or disable what you wish. You can set a sedentary reminder to remind you to get up and walk. You can set a high heart rate warning indicator. You can turn on the lift your wrist to twist your wrist to wake the watch. Raise to wake feature. I usually turn that off to save battery life. Pair your device, Bluetooth calls when you want to make and take calls from the watch. You can change your dial settings, and there's plenty of them in there. Blood glucose private mode, blood pressure private mode, blood components. So basically you can calibrate this to those parameters. If you actually know those numbers, you can turn this on and then put in the numbers you know them to be, and it'll calibrate the watch. Screen on time, weather settings. You can change your units from centigrade to Fahrenheit. Switch setting. These are those automatic health measurements I've got turned on. You can turn off what you wish. You can do a firmware upgrade, shake your wrist to take a photo, factory reset, and whatnot. So wow. I'm going to take a breath while I come back with my kind of final thoughts on this watch. So this watch has actually become a favorite of mine. It's got the full alloy body. And, you know, some of these smartwatches have plastic backs and whatnot. I like that this is sort of a metal body. I think it's beautiful looking. I love all the health features in here, and the fact that it's like a blood glucose watch is kind of amazing. It's got the 1.43-inch AMOLED display, EKG, ECG. Wow, it looks like the Samsung Galaxy Ultra watch, and maybe that is its strongest selling point, that, you know, it's going to look like that, you know, very expensive, popular big guy, but you can do that on a budget. So right now, this is selling on AliExpress, if you can believe it, for about $28. And my goodness, I think for that amount of money, this is an absolute fantastic watch. You gotta like the looks of it, but for everything you get, I think it's an amazing value. I'll drop a link below so you can go check it out. You can go check out all of my smartwatch and fitness tracker reviews on my YouTube playlist with the same name, Fitness Tracker and Smartwatch Reviews. I've done smart rings. My channel is primarily about health and fitness, but I like to kind of test and try and review anything health and fitness related, and I like to bring that to you. And I do these things to help monetize my channel so I can do more kayaking, essentially. So yeah, come check me out at davethekayaker.com. Leave a comment, give it a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe to my channel. All of that helps me get the word out about these reviews in my channel to get more people watching them. Subscribe if you wish. But that all helps me get the word out, and what little ad revenue I make on this channel, I actually just invest right back into the channel. I go buy these gadgets with my own money, so I'm a true third-party independent reviewer. So I just buy them, and then I can say whatever I want about them. And if and when a company would send me a smartwatch, I always disclose that. That does happen occasionally. But the vast majority of times I just go buy them with the ad revenue generated from this channel. Here's where you can see the speaker and microphone openings. Very, very cool smartwatch. Check it out. I highly, highly recommend it. And this one's probably going to stay on my wrist for a while. Until next time, stay healthy, be fit, be strong. And if the good Lord is willing and the creeks don't rise, I'll be back with another smartwatch review very, very soon.